If you are an internationally trained engineer and is planning to move here in Canada, then this video is for you. In this video, I will walk you through the process on how I applied for a license here in Canada as a professional engineer. As a short background, I got my bachelor's degree in civil engineering at Cebu Institute of Technology in Cebu City, Philippines. I graduated in 2001, and I have about 8 years of professional experience prior to moving here in Canada. You go to Engineers Canada. So you go to Engineers Canada website and then click Become an Engineer and then information on internationally trained engineers. And then go to overview of the licensing process. So it says here to practice engineering in Canada, you must hold and maintain a license from one of Canada's engineering regulators. Specific requirements for licensure vary from regulator, but generally there are 5 criteria that must be satisfied. So unlike in the Philippines, there's only one regulating body, which is the Professional Regulation Commission, or the PRC. In here, each province have their own regulating bodies. So, for example, to click this one. So I'm in Alberta. So I apply in this Association of Professional Engineers and Geoscientists of Alberta. So geoscientist is basically the geologist or geophysicist. So, and then this one, engineers and geoscientists of British Columbia, that's in the province of British Columbia, and then so on and so forth. So go back to the five general 5 criteria. So first is the academic. So it is a hold an engineering degree from a Canadian Engineering Accreditation Board accredited under a graduate program or possess equivalent qualifications. So basically what it means is if you are not a graduate in Canada or in a Canadian school, or basically like graduate from outside Canada, then you have to have your credentials, academic records evaluated by the respective um, regulating body. And then next is your work experience. So when I came here, when I applied for my license, um, at first I applied as an engineering training because I thought that if you are um, not a graduate here, then you can only apply as an engineering training. But when I submitted my documents, I was asked by the lady at the front desk, and so she asked me if do I have an experience prior to um, this application, basically, and I told her I have about 8 years of professional experience. So she told me that I have to fill out the form for um, the professional member, not the engineering training. Unlike unlike in Saskatchewan, the province of Saskatchewan, like where is it? This one here, APEX, Association of Professional Engineers and Scientists of Saskatchewan. If you are not a graduate in Canada, regardless of like how long is your professional experience, they will only allow you to apply as an engineer in training, not as a professional member. By the way, the difference between a Canadian graduate and a graduate from another country with regards to application requirements, it differs only in the kind of academics. The rest are the same: work experience, professionalism and ethics, good character, and language. They're just the same. So for work experience, we will discuss more on that later because it's different if you are applying as an engineer in training or a professional member. For professionalism and ethics, you have to pass the exam. It's a 4-hour exam um, regarding the laws and contracts, patents, trademarks, and copyrights. good character. If I remember correctly, I submitted a clearance from the National Bureau of Investigation to prove that I don't have any criminal record back home. So for applicants from another country other than the Philippines, I think it's the same as your police clearance. For language, you should know that Canada is a bilingual country. So the national languages are English and French. So unless you are applying for a license in Quebec, then you don't really need to know French. English would suffice. Going back to the work experience, so if the board finds that you don't meet the required experience to become a professional member, they would enroll you as an engineer in training. So as an engineer in training, you will be required a 4 year of approved experience under direct supervision of a professional member. So in my case, so when I received the result from the board, I was required to pass the fundamentals of engineering exam and a 1 year North American experience or Canadian experience. So for the fundamentals of engineering exam, we will it will be a separate video. I will show you how um, I prepared for that exam. So going back to the different engineering regulators. So if you are coming from other countries and move to one of these provinces, British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Prince Edward Islands, Nova Scotia, Quebec, Newfoundland and Labrador, and then the three territories, Yukon, Northwest Territories, and the Nunavut. You have to go to their respective association. So in Alberta, if you are moving to Alberta, then you should check this Association of Professional Engineers and Scientists of Alberta or APEGA. So if you click this one, um, you go to apply and then become a member. So in here, there are different categories for application. So we already discussed about the professional member and member in training. Member in training is this is the engineering training. So it's generic name member in training because if you are geoscientist, then you are geoscientist in training, not engineering training. So if you are, say, an immigrant to Canada, then you can apply either a member in training or a professional member. But if you are moving to Canada as a contract worker, so you can apply as a licensee. So a licensee application is the same as a regular application, but for non, it says here, if you are not yet a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. So as a licensee, you can, it says here, you can independently practice engineering or science in Alberta and is subject to the same ethical and practice standards as a professional engineer or professional geoscientist and must comply with the CPD requirements. So on the other hand, the professional licensee is if you don't have an engineering degree, and I think these are for Canadian citizen and resident only, to become a professional licensee, um, you don't have to meet the education requirements, but you meet the required experience. So going back to the application as a professional member, so this is the application that they um, applied for professional member. So in this website, it will give you um, all information you need on how to apply for a license. So if you have any specific questions, just put it in the comment section and I will respond to you as soon as I can. In future videos, we will be discussing my preparation for the fundamentals of engineering exam and um, how to apply for that exam. Thank you.